Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It is the transfer market is upon us. It's not officially open as yet though. I think it will be opening tomorrow. It's the second, so it's a January transfer window, and yeah, this is where we can look to go ahead and strengthen our team, and make the team a better team. And everyone knows that we need some creativity in that midfield because we have been struggling to create chances and stuff like those. So before I get into it though, must say thanks to you guys as usual for the support. A happy new year to you guys. Really do hope that this year brings a lot of success for you all, and health and wealth and all the good stuff. So happy new year. Thanks for being so supportive throughout last year. Really appreciate it. So this is Arsenal transfer news on the on the AFC BMAC channel, and every day we're gonna go ahead and every day for this January transfer window we're going to go ahead and check to see what is happening in the transfer market as it regards to Arsenal. All right, cool. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah. So Mikel Arteta did say in one of his press conference that in this transfer window he's going to focus. But he didn't say that specifically, but that's what it sounded like. He was saying that it's essential that they get players out because we came into this season with a very big squad. There are some players that were not registered for the season due to the number of players that we have on our hands at the moment, and players that we should have gotten out of the club in the summer transfer window, but didn't happen. So I think he's going to take. I think Mikel Arteta is thinking of taking the opportunity in the January transfer window to do that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So players that could be going out, I'm going to start with them. Yeah, I'm going to start with that. Kolašinac. Kolašinac is out on loan. I think that's quick. But yeah, Kolašinac is he went ahead and he rejoined Schalke, club that he signed from in Germany. Yeah, in Germany. So he's back in Germany with Schalke on loan for the rest of the season, and I think this is a good move for Kolašinac. I mean, with Kieran Tierney in the side, he hasn't been getting much game time as he wants, and he's clearly not the quality player that Mikel Arteta is looking for. So yeah, he's been left out a lot of times. We've seen him, but he has been one of those underperformers. So it's a good move for him. Hope that he gets his form back, and I hope that he do well over there in Germany. And yeah, I just have to see that one out the door. One that we should look to move on as well. One that I think Mikel Arteta is going to look to move on is Mustafi. He's another one that should go in this January transfer window. I don't know if it will be a loan deal or Kolašinac, by the way, it's a loan deal that he's on. Yeah. The reason why we didn't, let me just talk about this first before I move to Mustafi. The reason why we didn't go ahead and let Kolašinac go to whatever club he chooses in last summer transfer is because his wage bill, no one wanted to pay that sum of his wage bill because it's a time that we're in right now. The coronavirus and all clubs I should say don't really have the funds to go ahead and pay players to play for per week, pay them per week for playing such big amount of money. So yeah, we Arsenal, the board, Edu and everyone there, they decided to give Kolašinac a pay cut, and that enabled him to go out on loan and join Schalke. So that was a major point in him leaving, or him getting going on. Moving on to Mustafi. Mustafi, yeah, he's one of those players that I really don't like. You know, his performance again, not what, not up to Arsenal standards, and he's just one of those players that we need to go ahead and get out just the same. Yeah, and I really don't know if it will be a loan move or a permanent deal. But in this January transfer window, I don't most deals that will be done that way, I think it will be loan deals, loan move, because as I said, the financial situation that clubs are facing at the moment, it's really difficult for anyone to go ahead and make commitment to go ahead and buy a player. So it will most likely be a loan move for Mustafi as well. I'm not sure where he will be going though, but it looks like he is on the books to get released. He was linked with Barcelona, but doing some reading the other day, reports are saying that Barcelona, they are not going to they're not looking to go ahead and sign Mustafi anytime soon in this January transfer window. Maybe in the summer, but not in this January transfer window. So we just have to wait and see the window. Keep in mind the window opens tomorrow, so yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens with Mustafi. But he's definitely one of those players who will be going, and look forward to seeing that, because he's not one of those players that I really like, honestly. His defending makes you want to tear your hair out that time. So yeah, it would be good to see him off the books. Socrates, one of those players alongside Mesut Ozil who has been left out of the squad. Him again with another big wage bill on him. He should have left for Napoli in the summer, but the salary situation, or the wages that these players are on at Arsenal club at the moment is ridiculous, and that is why most clubs aren't looking to go ahead and take most of these guys in, because they don't want to pay such a high wage bill. And as I said, coronavirus caused all of this, and clubs are struggling at the moment financially. So yeah, we did talk about that a little while ago. So yeah, Napoli should have gone ahead and signed Kolašinac in the summer transfer window, but that didn't happen. Left us with this player. And yeah, I'm not gonna say Kolašinac is one of those players who is all bad. No, he's a great player. I rate him somewhat. I like him somewhat. He does his job. I mean, for me, he's okay. But he's one of those players that we need to move on. He's going up in age, and he's not a part of Mikel Arteta's plan, as you can see, because he has been left out of the squad. So yeah, he's one of those players who will be moving on as well, and yeah, that we can look to see that happen. As I said, most deals that will be done in this transfer window, it is going to be loan deals. Most deals that are going to be done, loan deals. Don't think permanent transfers are going to be in the making in this transfer window for most players, honestly. Another player that could move on, well, not really move on, but this one I think I'm a bit sure of. I think we're all sure of this one when we say William Saliba. He's one of those players that could be going out on a well. Mikel Arteta said that they're going to assess the situation, see what is best for him, because he hasn't settled in, at the club since joining from Saint Etienne. Bear in mind, we did bought him from Saint Etienne, and we sent him back on loan. And yeah, he's with the club now. This season we brought him in, but stuff happening behind the scenes. Was hearing some reports that his mom died, and a lot of other stuff going on in his life. So I think those are some of the reasons why Mikel Arteta hasn't enrolled him in the team as yet. We haven't seen him played a single minute in the Premier League, in the Europa League, or in either of the cup competitions. The only time that we saw him play was was in the preseason match. Sure, I don't remember which team it was against, but yeah, he played in a preseason match and he looked quite okay. He looks good. But most fans like myself, we would really like to see William Saliba in the side alongside Gabriel, because I think that would be a great partnership. Mikel Arteta seems to be favoring Rob Holding at the moment, so Saliba, I think they're looking to send him out on another loan deal to get him some more game time, to give him some more experience. Keep in mind he's still 19, and a lot of stuff is happening in his life based on the reports. So yeah, loan move. Most fans don't want to see it, but that's what the club has decided, and I think it's going to go out on loan. Yeah, this one is 100% positive that it will be a loan deal. But most fans really don't want to see him go out on loan. We would rather him stay at the club, get to know the ropes a bit more. Give him some play time in the cup competitions. He's played for the under 23s. Is that it? Yeah. Somewhere there, down there. Yeah, he's played for those the younger team there, and he's been getting game time, but we haven't seen him feature in any Premier League matches, any Europa matches. So yeah, he's going to be going out alone. Mikel Arteta did say that they're going to assess the situation with him in regard to him, and let us know. Another player that could, let's say might go out on loan is Callum Chambers. He's back off injury. A few weeks ago, he's back again, and he's one of those players who I really rate as well. Would like to see him get back into the team. He's a very versatile player. Can play at right back. He can play at centre back. Can also play as a defensive midfielder as well. We'd really like to see Callum Chambers stay and get back into the side, because I'm not such a big fan of Rob Holding, I must say. I'm not such a big fan of him. But regardless of my thoughts, I think that we might see him go out on loan. We know that Fulham, they are interested in him. A lot of other clubs are as well. I think what's it, West Ham? No, it's not West Ham. It's the club Aston Villa. Yeah, Aston Villa. They in the summer, I think they were interested in him as well. Yeah, so we have to wait and see what will happen on that one. And Nelson as well, one of those players who might go out on loan, just the same. Bear in mind, Nelson, he has been playing really well for most of this season, well, in the Europa League competition. He's playing really well and he's doing great. But when asked about him in a press conference, Mikel Arteta did say that the player was injured, and he's out at the moment. I'm not sure if he's back in training yet though, from the time I saw that up until now. I'm not sure if he's back in training now or what. But bear in mind, Nelson has been one of those players that has been out on loan for numerous amount of time, and I think we should keep Nelson at the club. Let him be one of those regulars, because he has been performing really well, and his performance show that he can take the game in hand and make something happen for the team. So I really think that we should develop Reece Nelson as a young player. I really think that we should develop him more in our care, not out on loan, because he might go out on loan and he will get game time and he will get some experience, but the tactics and the way of playing, for me, it's best if we keep Reece Nelson at the club, let him grow in Mikel Arteta's care. If we look at Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling joined Manchester City from Liverpool, and at the time he wasn't all that of a player to me. He wasn't all that of a player. It was good, don't get me wrong. Raheem Sterling, he was good, but wasn't all that of a player. Reece Nelson, for me, I think he's in a similar position. And Mikel Arteta did it for Raheem Sterling. Sterling is now a really great player and still carrying out what Mikel Arteta taught him, and he's succeeding really well. So I think if we keep Bruce Nelson in Mikel Arteta's care, getting to learn the tactics, getting to learn whatever Mikel Arteta needs him to learn, I think he'll be a great player. Maybe even better than Raheem Sterling, because I see him in that category with Raheem Sterling. So yeah, we should keep Bruce Nelson on the club. But regardless of what I think though, the club might send him on loan for the rest of the season. Might, not really sure, but reports are saying he might go out on loan. He and Callum Chambers. There wasn't any clubs that were highlighted in regards to Nelson leaving, or in regards to him going out on loan. There wasn't any clubs highlighted. So yeah, in regards to players coming in, now this is the interesting part, because we all know how badly we need players to come in and start doing something for us, or we all know how bad our form has been in terms of scoring goals, in terms of creating enough chances, in terms of putting away our little chances that we created, stuff like those. Our position in the table right now is 13. We're now sitting 13th place, and that's all a result of us not playing well. We as Arsenal fans, we don't usually see our team, or we don't usually we're not accustomed to our team being that far down the table in this point in the season, alright, or at this point in the competition. But however, Mikel Arteta, I think, will be looking to strengthen the team as well in the midfield area most of all. And I just want to first one I want to highlight is Isco, because Isco is an attacking player, attacking midfielder, and he's really good. We all know Isco. I really don't have to go in depth with anything in regards to Isco. Plays for Real Madrid. Everyone knows that Isco has played at the highest level. Played amongst high quality players, played against high quality players, played in the biggest competition of all of football. So Isco here would be a real proposition for us. It would be a real signing, but it will not be a permanent one. Bear in mind, I did say that earlier on, that most of these are not going to be permanent. It's a loan deal. Arsenal, they are looking to get Isco in on a loan deal, and Isco is open to transfer talks with club. Reports are saying though that he does favor a move to another club in Spain. However, Arsenal, we are interested in him, and that deal could be done. It looks like a deal that can get done. If Mikel Arteta and Edu, they are serious, they can go ahead. I think they will go ahead and get this deal done. Bear in mind, Isco has been struggling to start for Real Madrid this season. Real Madrid, they are a few points off the top, a little bit behind Atletico at the moment, and he just hasn't been playing that much. He came off the bench a few times, for the club, for Real Madrid, and he's okay. For me, Isco is a great player, and I think he would do us good right now. I think he would do us some good right now. We all know about Mesut Ozil's situation, and he's another player that we think, well, he's another player that we should look at in this transfer, or keep a close eye on in this transfer window as well. Though I really don't believe that he will go anywhere in this window. Maybe in the summer, but not in this window. I don't think he will go anywhere at all. Mesut Ozil, as we know, he's stubborn, and he did say that he wanted to go ahead and see out his contract to the end of the season, or to the end of his contract, I should say. So I don't think Mesut Ozil will be going anywhere. One thing we have to keep an eye on, though, he really wants to play. Mesut Ozil, he wants to play, and it would be a wise move for him, to get some game time, maybe to leave and get some game time as a professional footballer. You need that. You don't want your popularity to go dull or anything like that, stuff like those, you know. So I think it would be a wise move for him, you know, to get a loan, to get a move, you know, for him. But I really don't see that one happening anytime this month. You know, really don't see that one happening. What else? Yeah. One that we all know. He's been our top priority. Last transfer window. That was in the summer. You know, Osim Hawar. Everyone was talking about him. Everyone who's Arsenal and knows about Arsenal, and you know, was talking about this guy. I mean, he's done well for Leon in the past season, and he is doing well for them now in this season. Leon, they're sitting top of the table. We have to keep that in mind. If Mikel Arteta should go ahead, or if Mikel Arteta and Edu should go ahead and try to get this player in for us in this window, it is going to take a lot, because I really do think that Leon, they are going to want a lot of money for him now, because they're sitting high in the sitting high in the French league. They're sitting at the top of the pile. So he has played a big part in that, along with Manchester Depay, you know, Dembele, those guys. So I really don't think the manager for Leon team right now is going to want to lose any of those top players. Don't think he's going to want to go ahead and let go anyone in this point, in this time, in this point in the season, you know, because they're actually sitting top right now. So yeah, if we are to go ahead and try to get Osimhen in, it's going to be a huge ask, because as we all know, Leon they can drive a hard deal, a hard bargain. So it's going to take a lot if we should try to get Osimhen in for this transfer window. However, that's a deal, one of those deals I would love to see get done as well. Real creative player. We've seen that in the Champions League. We've seen that in the Bundesliga when he plays. So yeah, real great player. Can score. He can create. You know, and he's okay. He's a good player. Just as Isco can create. Isco can score. And you know, if we get either of these two in, it will be okay. Another transfer target that Mikel Arteta and Edu they are looking at is one that we're not so familiar with. It's a recent rumor, or it's a recent link, I should say. Julian Brandt, Dartman player. I don't know much about him. I don't know that much about him. For me, he's new. I'm going to have to look a little bit more into this one, research this player a bit more. I don't really know much about this one, but it sounds, from the reports going around, it sounds like, you know, he's an okay player. Sounds like he's a good player. He's really young as well. He's pretty young. You know, it's said that Dartman, they bought him, and he was in the summer transfer window. Yeah, they bought him in. He sounds like he's a good player. As I said, don't know much about him, so I'm going to have to research on him a bit more, and give you guys some update as the transfer window goes along. Another one, Buendia, Emiliano Buendia. We all know him, right? Emiliano Buendia, plays for Norwich. He's a Norwich player. We've seen him last season playing for Norwich in the Premier League. They got relegated though. Buendia, he was fifth. Well, not fifth. He was third in most chances created in the Premier League for last season. Yeah. He was amongst the top 5 players with the most chance created. So that, I think that says something, and he has scored a few goals as well. Don't know exactly how much, but yeah, he has scored a few goals as well, and he has been one of those top players for Norwich. Reports are saying also that he is playing really well for Norwich at the moment in the Championship league. Norwich are sitting top of the league. So yeah, I think that is going to be a hard one to bring in as well. But the player seems to want to come to Arsenal though. His agent and Emiliano Martinez agent, they are the same people, so they have close relationship with Arsenal. So yeah, that can help in somewhat, or that could help in somewhat. So Wendy again, another good player. We all know him, creative. He looks really good on the ball, really solid on the ball. He can hold the ball up really well. Likes to dribble at players. Likes to take people on. He looks a good player for me. He links up really well with a teammate of his, Campbell. That's his name, right? Tim Campbell. I'm not sure, but that young kid there for Norwich. Both of them together really dangerous. But Wendy is the one that we're focusing on. He's the one that Arsenal is looking to bring in. And I was seeing some reports that it could be a 15 million euro that we get him in for. I'm not sure how true that is. I would have to get some more into that. And as I said, as the transfer window goes on, and I bring you these daily updates, we will see what happens. So Buendia, another player that Arsenal is interested, creative midfielder as well, attacking player. He can play in the number 10 role just the same. And speaking of which, most of these players that we're linked with at the moment, since recently we have Smith Rowe playing in that number 10 position. I mean, what will happen to him? Will he be stifled out? These are some things that we have to look at, because if we're going to take some of these players on loan, for example, like Isco, or maybe even Noir, or maybe even Buendia, or Julian, Brent, if we should go ahead and take any of these players, maybe on loan, maybe on a permanent, don't know, what's it going to do to Smith Rowe? Because Smith Rowe is a good player. We've seen it for ourselves, in those 2 matches, even in past matches that he played in. He can score, and he can, pick up little pockets of space. He can also create a little bit. So he will only get better if they give him chance, and if these players come in and start him out, I don't think he'll get that much chance to play, and that will bring his confidence down a lot, and that will maybe set him back a little bit. I really do hope that that's not the case though. Even they're trying to strengthen the team just the same, we have to take into consideration these young players that we have and how they can be a big part of the future, to come. So let me know in the comments what you think about Smith Rowe, what will happen to him, what you think will happen to him if we should bring any of these players. And I think that is it for today. And you have a great one. Peace. I'm out.